Having good monitoring in your application is a huge lifesaver because it can help you detect application problems before your customers ever notice. And one of the best ways to add monitoring into your application is by using OpenTelemetry, which is a very popular and open source observability framework. And fortunately, adding OpenTelemetry into your app today is very straightforward with a brand new library known as the Azure Monitor OpenTelemetry Distro. So today, let me show you how to use it to quickly start monitoring your ASP.NET Core application in Azure with just a few lines of code. The easiest way to start monitoring your .NET application in Azure is by using the Application Insights service. So here I am in my Azure portal, and I do have Application Insights right here in my dashboard because I've been using it recently. But if you don't see it there, what you can do is just click on More Services over here, and then you can go ahead and just find Application Insights by just typing App Insights in this filter box, and it should be the second entry over here. So let's click on Application Insights, and then we're going to go ahead and click on Create. So this is going to start the Application Insights wizard, and so we're going to pick up a subscription. So I just have one here, so it's already selected. I'm going to click on Create New to stand up a brand new resource group. So it's going to be Matchmaker because it's for my Matchmaker application. So I'll create that resource group, and then I'll give a name for the Application Insights resource. It's going to be, again, Matchmaker, just to keep things simple. And then I'll keep my West US3 region because it's very close to me. And then the rest is going to be just default. So I click on Review plus Create. And then once the validation has passed, I'll go ahead and click on Create. So this is going to go ahead and deploy the Application Insights resource into our Azure subscription. And this may take a few seconds. So let's just give it a second for it to complete. All right, so deployment completed. So let's go ahead and click on Go to Resource. Down here, let's click on Go to Resource so we can go into the overview blade for our brand new Application Insights resource. So right here, as you can see, we do have already some basic charts for some basic stats about our application, things like failed requests, server response time, and even the server requests that have been going through our application, right? So these are going to be the basic charts that we're going to see how to enable right away by the steps that we're going to be following now. But before we do that, let's go ahead and copy the connection string that we can see right here, this connection string. It is very important because this is going to be the way that our application is going to be able to talk to the Application Insights service, right? So I'm going to click on over here, copy to clipboard, and I'll keep it handy on the side because we're going to be using it in a moment. So with this ready, let's switch into our Visual Studio Code instance where we have our application. So this is my small matchmaking application that I've been showing in a few videos, and all it does is just matches two players so that I can go ahead and play a game. So the first step to do the integration with the Application Insights service is going to be to install a NuGet package. So what NuGet package is that? Well, if you go into the documentation for the Azure Monitor service over here, if we scroll down a little bit and we click on Get Started, we're going to see over here, here's the instructions to install the client library. Now, this client library is known as the Azure Monitor OpenTelemetry Distro, but the actual name of the library is just azure.monitor.opentelemetry.asp.NET Core. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this line to install the NuGet package, and let's go back into Visual Studio Code. I'm going to go ahead and open my terminal, and let me just switch to matchmaker.api. And then I'm going to just go ahead and paste what we just copied, hit enter, and that's going to go ahead and install this NuGet package. All right, so NuGet package has been installed. Let's collapse this. And what we want to do now is to register the services that are needed in order to collect and export the metrics that we want to send into the Application Insights service. So let's go ahead and open up program.cs over here. And then we're going to go into the section here where we register the application services. And we're going to go ahead and open up just one section here to add builder.services.add OpenTelemetry. Now, OpenTelemetry is a very popular observability framework that can be used to collect, process, and export telemetry data, right, from multiple places and into multiple locations. Now, just by adding this one line over here, we are able to start collecting the basic metrics of the application, including a few very interesting ASP.NET Core metrics. So that will take care of the collection phase, but we do want to export these metrics specifically into the Azure Application Insights service, which is part of Azure Monitor. And because of that, we do want to add one more thing here, which is going to be use Azure Monitor. Right, and for this one, we do want to introduce, so I'll just introduce the azure.monitor.opentelemetry.asp.NET Core namespace, right that. And like I said, just by doing this, we are going to be able to start exporting basic stuff from the application without having to do anything else, right? Just with this one line, our application should be able to start exporting telemetry data to App Insights. Now, before it can do that, we do need to tell the application how to connect to Azure Application Insights, right? And we do have a connection string for that. So how do we define this connection string? Well, if you go back into the documentation over here, if you scroll down a little bit more, we're going to see that the default way to do this is by using an environment variable, as it is stated over here. However, for our local development purposes, I like to have kind of an easier way to do this because otherwise we'll have to be setting this environment variable over and over again, right? So in order to do this in an easier way, what we're going to do is just use the secret manager that is part of the .NET SDK, right? So let's go back into our Visual Studio Code instance. What we're going to do is to open up our terminal over here, and we're going to go ahead and first initialize the secret manager for our application. So let me go ahead and clean this. And so all you have to do at this point is just say .NET user secrets init. And that's going to initialize secrets manager for your application. And then we're going to be using the secret manager in order to set the connection string to connect to application insight. So to do that, let's do .NET user secrets set. And then here we want to specify what is going to be the key that the configuration system can use to actually figure out that's the location for the connection string. Now, what is going to be that specific key? Well, if we go back into the documentation, we're going to see that if we go into over here, connection string configuration, we're going to see that there are other ways to specify the connection string. And one of them is by using the application settings file like this, right? We don't want to use app settings.json because if we just put a connection string there, that has security issues, right? We don't want to put secrets in the code, but we can use this idea to set a key that's going to be Azure Monitor and connection string, right? So let's go ahead and down here, we're going to say Azure Monitor and then connection string. And then the next value is going to be the actual connection string, which I already have on the side here. So I'm going to just paste it over there. I copied it before, and then I'll hit enter. And with that, we have a connection string ready for our application to start using to start exporting data into application insights. And so at this point, our application is pretty much ready to start exporting data. So I'm going to go ahead and just do .NET run. Okay, .NET run. So the application starts. And what we want to do now is to, start exercising a few of the endpoints of the application so that data starts flowing, right? So let's go into matchmaker.http over here. And I'm going to collapse this. And this application only has really two endpoints. One endpoint to go ahead and try to match a player with another player. And this other get endpoint to see what is the match that has been assigned for a specific player. So let's go ahead and try out our post endpoint over here. So I'm going to hit send request. That's going to start a match for player 1. As you can see right there. And then let's go ahead and switch this to player 2 so that it can be matched to player 1. So they have been matched. So let's do this for a few more players. So let's do player 3 and let's do also player 4 over here. So we should have at least 2 matches there. And then also let's exercise our get endpoint over here to retrieve our match for, let's say, player 1. So I'm going to click on send request, and that, as you can see, that retrieves the match for player 1. And I'm going to just click on this a few more times so we have some data to show in our charts. All right. So with that data should have already gone into application insights. So let's go now into our Azure portal over here. And then the thing is that, well, the data is not really real time. It's not going to show in real time in the Azure portal. So this is going to take a few minutes. And I'm going to switch into 30 minutes over here. And so I'm going to fast forward the video a little bit because it may take a few moments for the data to start showing up over here. Okay, so a few minutes later, as you can see, we do have some initial data here. So as you can see, we do have some average server response time over there. It's going to be 11.8 milliseconds right there. And then also, if you scroll down a little bit, we're going to see that we do have our server requests that we sent over here. We have 12 server requests right here, and we can see those in the chart over there. And also, we can actually click over here. So let's click on server requests. And we're going to be taken into this other screen where we can see the active requests that were sent over here. So you can see we have our active requests in this section. We have 4 requests for post, and we have 8 requests for get, right? And we can see what was the duration of each of those requests. So very, very handy data already. And we didn't have to do really anything other than adding just that one line. right? So going back to overview, one more thing that we may want to know is if we have any fail request, right? So right now we don't have any fail requests, but we can kind of simulate that by going back over here. And what I'm going to do is to request a player that does not exist just yet, right? So I'm going to ask for player 5, right? And if I send a request for player 5, that's going to result, of course, in a not found error over there, right? So I'm going to send a few times this one over here to see if we can detect this issue over there in our metrics. So let's go back into Azure Application Insights over here. And of course, we have to give it a few moments before that data starts popping up here. So let's just give it a moment. All right, so about 1 minute or 2 later, we can see that the data is popping up over here, and I'm going to click this on 30 minutes so to see better. We can see now that we have about 9 fail requests right there, and they are also here on the graph, right? So this is very handy to tell if something is going on with the application, right? And again, we just had to add 1 line, and the library is able to allow us to start exporting basic metrics about ASP.NET Core over there. Now that is cool, but let's say that we do want to have some custom metrics added to applications, so something that we do want to track that has nothing to do with the defaults of ASP.NET Core. How do we do that, right? So let's go back into over here into Visual Studio Code. And the first thing that we have to do in order to start tracking our custom metrics is to define what is known as the meter. And the meter is nothing more than a central object that can keep track of all of the telemetry for our one specific application. So in this case, let's go ahead and add one more line here, and let's add builder.services.configure OpenTelemetry meter provider. And then for this method, we do want to specify one parameter, which is going to be, well, the service provider, and then the builder here for this lambda expression over here. And then here we want to specify builder.addMeter. And the method that we want to specify is going to have whatever name that reflects your specific application. In this case, the name is going to be matchmaker.api. All right. So by doing this, and let me go ahead and do control dot over here so we can import OpenTelemetry.metrics over there. So with that, like I said, we're defining this one method that can keep track of all of the telemetry for our application. So with the method defined, we can start taking advantage of it wherever it makes sense for application. So let's go down now into our services folder over here and into GameMatcher. So GameMatcher in this case is the one class that can actually perform the matching for the application. So let's go down over here, and the first thing that we want to do is to define what is known as the counter. So the counter is the one object that you can use to count this metric that is of interest to you. So let's scroll down here, and let's just add a read-only variable of type counter, and then the counter is going to be of type int in this case, and then let's just name it matches created counter. And to use that, we're going to have to do control dot, and let's use system.diagnostics.metrics over there. And with the counter defined, we have to create an instance of that counter. Now to create the instance, we have to go back and take advantage of that method that we defined before, right? So for that, we're going to say meter equals new, and here we have to specify the name of that method that we defined before. So the method was named, as you remember, matchmaker.api. So let me copy that, and let's define that in our new constructor over there, right? So that gives us a reference to that method that we defined before. And now that we have the reference, we can go ahead and say, well, matches created counter equals, and then we can say, yeah, we can say method.create counter, and it's going to be of type int. And then here we want to specify what is going to be the name of this one specific counter. So in this case, since we want to track matches created, right? Anytime a match has been created, we want to keep track of it, right? So let's just name it matches created, as the suggestion says right there. So matches created, and then that's going to be it. There are more parameters you can specify there, but this is going to be good enough for our purpose right now. So the counter has been defined. So now let's scroll down into the section where we want to actually take advantage of that counter. So over here, we have that section where we go ahead and create our match. So just after our repository creates a match in the database, we can go ahead and just add this one line as it suggested, matches created counter.add one. So that counts one instance of this specific event, which is that the match has been created. And so, yeah, with that in place, that's all we have to do in order to start tracking our custom metric. So now what we can do is go ahead and restart our application. So let me go back over here. It was actually running, so now it's stopped. So let's do .NET run to start it over again. Okay, and let me go also down into my matchmaker.http file over there. Let's collapse this and let's collapse that. And what I'm going to do is to, well, create a few instances or invoke the endpoint that can create multiple matches, right? So let's start with, I'll go with player 1 and it's going to be matched with player 2. So that will be our first match. So let's do player 3 and then let's also do player 4. It's going to be our second match, and let's just do one more for our last match, right? So we should have at least 3 matches created right now. And that count of matches should now be reflected also into application insights. So let's now go back into application insights over here. And where is that we can see this information? So that you're not going to see, of course, in the default charts over here because they don't know about it. But what you can do is now go into the monitoring section on the left side, and you can click on metrics right here. You can click on metrics. And here's where you can start defining your own charts with your own metrics as it makes sense for your application. And let me actually go ahead and collapse this for a moment so we can see better. And so as you can see, we have a few options here. We're going to select the specific custom section here where this says matchmaker.api. Let's click on that one. And then here we're going to be able to select our matches created metric, as you can see right there. Now here for aggregation, perhaps we want to see our sum of the different times that the match was created. And also let's switch on the top over here so that we can only see the last 30 minutes, which will make more sense. So I click apply, and then it may take a few seconds or a few minutes as before, but as you can see, we already can see some data popping up over here. Right on this section, you can see that the graph is starting to show these matches that were created. Remember, we created 3 matches, so 3 matches are showing up over here. And of course, we can switch this from a line chart perhaps into a bar chart so it can look better like that. But yeah, as you can see, it was just a few lines of code, and now we do have both some built-in metrics for our application from ASP.NET Core and some custom metrics that was very easy to introduce into the app. So there you go, a very easy way to start tracking your .NET application metrics in Azure. And if you found this useful, please check out this other video where I cover another .NET topic that you may find also very interesting. And so for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.